Dire team ban.
Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome to the Gigabyte Premier League. This is a best of one between First Departure and Orange Esports. First Departure, of course, being a Singaporean team, Orange Esports being a
Radiant
Malaysian
team
team.
ban.
Thank you, of course, to Gigabyte as well as AMD for sponsoring this tournament, and Dota Talk for very kindly allowing me to cast it, as well as Pumakal to help out with the camera work, and if he wants to jump in and co-cast, he's more than welcome to. But man, they're jumping into the drafting very, very quickly. We already see a Pugna being banned out by First Departure as well as a Timbersaw, Lich being the ban out for Orange, and Alchemist as well. So Elder Titan is still left in the pool at the moment. Normally you do see him banned out, well, first in a lot of games. Clockwork is still in the pool as well. So two very, very strong heroes in the metagame, both good at offlane and also possibly going into the mid lane. So First Departure now, well, what are they going to take? They're going to take the Invoker, so well, Orange Esports probably don't know what to do, but I mean, Invoker's a very strong pickup if you can play him well. He's level dependent, he's okay in the mid lane, and I mean, if he can get the levels, he can have a big impact in team fights, but I mean, he's one of those heroes that you just don't see so often, I suppose, in competitive games. I mean, I've seen a lot of him recently, quite honestly, but he's one of those heroes that, you have to know how to play him well. And so I guess, Singaporean teams really do seem to favour him. I saw him yesterday in Insidious Idol. They picked him up to go into the offlane. So, I mean, I wonder where they are going to be laning him at the moment. They've got Chibi subbing in, although Chibi might be in First Departure now. Miracle did leave the team, and I think Chibi was meant to be playing for them, but he hasn't been, I think because he's in the army. I'm not too sure, but either way, Chibi is going to be the one drafting for them at the moment, so, I mean, he might be taking the Invoker to the easy lane, or we could be seeing Pulson playing the Invoker in the mid lane. But I mean, either way, Orange can respawn by picking up a Nature's Prophet, so a really nice offlane hero with great split pushing potential. I mean, again, Elder Titan has been ignored, but I mean, Orange is going to take the Chen instead. So having that nice pushing lineup to begin with, they've got the Chen who's got the creeps, and they've also got the Nature's Prophet to help tank the towers. So at the moment, it looks like they've got the strong start of a pushing lineup. I mean, that is typical Orange style. They want to be able to get towers down. They want to get map advantage, control of all the towers, taking all of them down, and then going to the Roshan before taking the high ground. And Chen and Nature's Prophet, with those two heroes alone, you really can push down towers quite aggressively. So First Departure now have to think quite a lot about what sort of anti-push they want to get, because Invoker is a level-dependent hero, and he's not really that good at anti-push. He's got, a couple of AoE abilities, but they're very high mana cost, and he's more a team fight hero. He's not so good against the delayed, sort of drawn-out sieges that a Nature's Prophet and Chen will bring to a push. I mean, they can just go resummon their creeps or back off if the team fight looks like it's not going their favor. Of course, Nature's Prophet can TP to another lane and start split pushing that. And Invoker doesn't really favor situations like that. He needs, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes to farm up his items and come online and get the levels that he needs to be active in team fights. So Orange, I mean, they might just decide that, since First Departure have shown their hand, they're having an Invoker as a core hero. Orange have got this opportunity now where there's going to be one hero who, he can do a bit with the Sunstrike, and, Cold Snap is definitely also viable in the early game, but, they've got this opportunity now to just push in the early game and get down towers and get that map advantage that they want. And we can see First Departure banning out that Bristleback, which has been increasing in popularity within the Chinese scene. It was also slightly viable in the Western scene, being played as a carry, but Chinese scene is a lot more popular with the Bristleback. But anyway, now looking at the next ban announced by Orange. So Orange are, like I said, looking to go for a push lineup, so maybe we will see them banning out those anti-pushes. I mean, Keeper of the Light is not too popular in the metagame at the moment, but we could be seeing him being banned out, and they're thinking a lot about this. I mean, the ban that they're interested in. I mean, otherwise they could ban out some supports. At the moment, First Departure are lacking in supports. Crystal Maiden would be a really nice ban out, since Crystal Maiden does give Chen a pretty hard time being able to frostbite one of his creeps and, ensure that it won't be able to move, and then, basically die. Lifestealer is going to be the ban out for them though, so they don't really want to have to deal with that magic immunity, so that might imply that they're interested in picking up a mid hero that is, well, quite mana dependent, magic dependent, I suppose. Maybe something like a Queen of Pain or a Puck that Lifesteal can basically just ignore, I suppose. And I mean, if they do want to do that, that will give them a little bit more team fight and a little bit more ability to kind of snowball themselves forward in the mid game. Because you can't have all push. If you've got all push and First Departure have all team fight, well, your team fight in the push is going to get destroyed. And at the moment, I mean, Chen and Nature's Prophet are decently mobile. Of course, Nature's Prophet can TP around the map, but in actual, initiation stages, if you've got an Invoker charging at you, I would say Nature's Prophet isn't really that mobile. And same with Chen, he has a hard time moving across the map because he has to bring his creeps with him or spend some time going to the jungle and getting some creeps to help him with the push. But First Departure now, they're also having a long think, considering how fast they banned and picked in this first stage. Now, the second stage, they're all thinking about it very, very carefully. But First Departure are lacking a carry, and they're basically lacking their tri lane, I suppose. So, like I said, Enchantress could be a pickup for them, or a Crystal Maiden, so a hero that can counter out that Chen a little bit. Probably a little bit of anti-push would go quite well. I mean, Keeper of the Light, like I said, he's one of the quintessential anti-push heroes, but he's not so popular in the current metagame. They could, I suppose, run the Invoker as maybe a dual lane on the easy lane for them, so dual lane bot Invoker and have a dual lane mid with their carry, which would leave them open to pick up 2 level dependent support, such as an Earthshaker could fit in quite well. Earthshaker Invoker lane isn't too bad. Or you could have Earthshaker in the mid lane blocking the creep wave and pulling the creep wave to the Ancient. So, I mean, that's something else that they could possibly do, but it looks like they're going to be banning out the Weaver. And no, Orange are going to take that Crystal Maiden, so no opportunity for First Departure to pick up that Crystal Maiden against the Chen. And that's going to be quite a nice little pickup when dealing with, I suppose, the AoE coming out from the Elder Titan and the Invoker. I mean, a Crystal Maiden can kind of dodge them around. Obviously, she needs to do that, but she's good at pickoffs, and she can probably rotate to gank that Invoker in the early game just to kind of shut his levels down, since she is a very strong ganking hero. And from what I've seen of Orange, as soon as that 4-minute mark hits, the first night, Chen and Crystal Maiden will just gank that mid lane and just try and shut down whoever's in the mid lane. 9 is too TFG, too fucking good. That is who 9 is. Anyway, so First Departure are going to pick up the Visage. So one of the heroes for their tri lane, they probably need a little bit more nuking damage as well as some lockdown. Because if this Invoker is going to be going for an Exort build, he needs some lockdown. Otherwise, he's not going to hit, any of the Sun Strikes unless he's got like Ember Man type of aiming skills, I suppose.
Anti-mage.
And wow, Orange actually going to take the anti-mage, so they've got some really nice split pushing coming out from their lineup. Hang on, sorry. Stop being mean in chat, I'm banning all of you. It's not nice. Anyway, so anti-mage, so that's a lot of split push coming out from them. They've got their offlane pick with the Nature's Prophet, and now they just need a carry, not a carry, a mid hero. And I suppose they're just going to base it on whatever First Departure does pick up to go into their mid. Since, I mean, Invoker, like I said, he could go mid or he could be going in the easy lane. They run dual lanes. I have seen them do that before with the Shaker. Blocking the mid lane, like I said, and pulling. That does give Invoker free farm under the tower, as well as just denying so much experience from the mid lane going to Orange. So, I mean, whatever First Departure pick up next, they have to consider carefully, because at the moment they've got a pretty strong mid-game lineup. Once Invoker gets some items, once Elder Titan hits, wow, Enigma, once Elder Titan hits level 8 or so, level 9 I suppose, they're going to be able to teamfight quite effectively. And Enigma, I mean, it's greedy. Having an Enigma in the jungle is so incredibly greedy, but it can work, because at the moment Orange have also got a greedy lineup. Nature's Prophet, I mean, he's good in the early game in that he can TP in and help out with teamfights, but apart from the Chen and the Crystal Maiden, who are going to be needing to support this anti-mage against this Elder Titan, this Enigma's going to have free farm in his own jungle. No, okay. For those asking, NWP is Yamete, 9 is TFG. Let's just clear this up. So First Departure have noticed that Orange have got a really strong push lineup at around about the 5 to 10 minute mark is when they can really just start to barrel down towers and then carry on forward. But First Departure have got this first 5 minutes to 10 minutes so where this Enigma can just free farm in the jungle, and it's going to give them, I suppose, 4 sort of cores in the lineup, so the Enigma will be able to get up maybe the mech, get up a fast blink dagger. He can be the initiation power, and that gives them a really, really scary team fight. And Orange Esports split push isn't really going to come online, I would say, until the 25 to 30 minute mark when Anti-Mage picks up his Manta, gets his Battle Fury Vlads, all of that, and when Nature's Prophet gets up maybe a Necrobook 3 as well as possibly a Shadow Blade or a Force Staff, some kind of a escape mechanism. So first departure, this is all going to depend on the early game, because if this game drags too late, that Anti-Mage is just going to barrel right over them, stepping on their face as he goes along. But in this early game, first departure have got amazing teamfight potential, and they've got greedy lanes that could work out. So this should be a quite interesting game, though. Like I said, first 5 to 10 minutes should be going the way of first departure. Then Orange are going to start pushing, Anti-Mage is going to start farming. It's going to depend on first departure's ability to win team fights and get map control. So they need to win team fights with their AoE and then get towers down, because if they don't get towers down, I mean, Anti-Mage is going to be split pushing this whole time. He's probably going to be able to pressure the lanes in and, you know, maybe get the bottom tier 1 tower if there's a tier, you know, fight happening at the top tier 1 tower. So first departure have to ensure that, I mean, ideally, they will get towers and not trade them, but at the very least, they need to make sure that they trade towers, because losing map control is losing the game for them. And now Orange, looking at their last pick, so mid-hero, Kunkka is going to be the pickup. So I do and I don't like this. I mean, given that they've got an anti-mage, the Crystal Maiden is essentially going to be forced to sit top lane for the first, I mean, little bit of the game. And I mean, first departure, they don't have a great ganking lineup. Like I said, they've gone quite aggressive, well, greedy, I suppose, with the Enigma. So Visage probably going to have to sit bot lane and babysit whoever's in the bot lane. But I mean, in a one-on-one matchup, Invoker should have a good time against Kunkka. Invoker can just regenerate off whatever harassment Kunkka throws at him with that Tidebringer. He's got the Quas, and then, you know, if Kunkka comes too far forward, he's going to get cold snapped and just beaten down. And first departure aren't even going for a carry, they're just going for a Mirana. So it's a really early game carry, and they understand that in the late game against an anti-mage and a Nature's Prophet, they're not going to be able to win it. They understand that, hey, we need to just get an advantage in the early game, and Mirana is kind of perfect for this. She has a really good initiation tool at level 6 with her Moonlight Shadow, so she can just invis everyone and pull them all into the team fights. She's got the arrow as well as the Starstorm, which is just going to do huge damage in an AoE, as well as the arrow, which is a nice kind of, I'd say, it wouldn't be an initiation tool unless she gets very lucky, but a follow-up stun. So, I mean, on the whole, I do like the Mirana pickup as a kind of early game carry that's going to be able to lead the game forward. Also, I'm sorry, I will slow down. My apologies. But anyway, so I guess it's going to be Yamata playing the Kunkka in the mid lane. And I mean, again, if Orange can turtle this to the long haul, they should be able to outsplit push. They should be able to just outsplit push and rat dirt at first departure. But first departure have got a really nice and also really aggressive early game lineup. And if Lubby on the Enigma can get up a fast maybe mech blink dagger, it depends on what items Hannah is going for. Since Hannah's on the Elder Titan on the off lane, or they could they run an aggressive tri lane with, you know, Lubby hanging around this area? I mean, I suppose they could, but I think it's not going to be ideal. But I mean, maybe they are. Hannah's... Oh, I guess go through the players first and see what lanes they decide to go to. But on the side of first departure, we've got Chibi on the Mirana. Hana is going to be playing the Elder Titan. Mid or feed is going to be playing that Invoker. Lubby is going to be on the Enigma, and Kai is going to be playing that Visage. On the side of Orange, we have got Yamate on the Kunkka heading. He's heading down to the bot lane, but I'm assuming he's mid. Crystal Maiden is going to be played by 9, aka TFG. Pimp, can you change the overlay? That's alright. Okay, everyone's so angry. So on Orange, we've got Yamata playing the Kunkka. 9, aka TFG, is going to be playing the Crystal Maiden. Ling is going to be on that Chen. Sharky is going to be on the Anti-Mage. And Winter is going to be on that Nature's Prophet. And, I mean, Yamata's heading down to the bot lane, but on the whole, he does play the mid lane. So I do think he's going to head mid, especially since Winter has picked up that Ring of Protection, so most likely build into a Bazzi ring, so he's probably going to be in that off lane. But I mean, like I was saying, do you think First Departure have got the ability to run an aggressive tri lane with Lubby in the jungle, or do you think they're better just to go a passive tri lane and try to out farm, I suppose?
You talking to me?
Yeah, or did you say you wanted
Well,
to co-cast or no?
I don't care. Well, I just go ahead. Um, well, I think they should do something like this, because if they have a Chen in the jungle, they can make something happen, and shutting down anti-mage is always pretty nice. So yeah, pretty much it. And one more thing, your chat, I'm doing the camera, so if you have any feedback for me, just put it in the chat. I read it in between the game and stuff, and the overlay was my fault as well, so yeah. And also Twitch lags, I'm sorry, I'm using different Ingest servers this time. It should be good, but I don't know for sure. Alright.
God, everyone's so mean tonight. All right, well, yeah, so it looks like First Departure are going to be running mid as, well, five. So the whole team's going up to the top lane now, just getting down those Nature's Prophet trees, because why not? They will be spotting out Sharky on the top lane, but I think, yeah, they just want to ward out here. This nice little cheeky ward here, it's very hard to de-ward. In fact, it's virtually impossible unless you have a flying courier, because you drop the sentry down here and you don't have vision of it up there. The only way to get vision of it really is to drop another sentry ward up there, which is just going to block the camp just the same. So some nice sentrying into the camps here just to shut down the Chet as much as possible, but you can see already Orange are going to be running. Wow, so they're going to be having Sharky Anti-Mage in the mid lane. So it looks like Orange are going to be running an aggressive tri-lane with this Crystal Maiden, Chen in the jungle, and Yamete just farming that lane. They've put some really nice aggressive wards to try and get control, and I don't think First Departure is spotting this out, because we do see Chibi as well as Kai running into this Crystal Maiden. They're going to be doing as much damage to her as possible. But a nice two-man torrent actually going to be landing onto Kai. Kai's getting a lot of damage onto him. He's down to 60 health, but he will be able to make it away. And Chibi now is just man-boating onto 9, but he might be forced to back out. He's going to level up Leap and leap over the trees. They're just making it out alive. Torrent won't be getting onto him, so he's going to be able to pot up and make it back to lane. But I don't think they were expecting these lanes. We can see Ling just trying to steal the creep here. And Lubby is going to have a lot of difficulty, I suspect, from this Chen in the jungle, because Chen can essentially just send his creeps to harass him around. Of course, if Lubby does already have 6 creeps up, he can do a lot of damage to this Chen, but I mean, on the whole, Chen should be able to outlane him, especially with the Crystal Maiden giving him a hand. We can see already he's actually picked up one of those super annoying mana burn creeps, and I think he's just going to be spamming that out onto Chibi, just trying to force Chibi out of lane. And I mean, 3 uses of that, and Chibi's going to be out of mana, and he's going to be able to do that within, you know, a minute mark. So Chibi's probably going to be having a lot of difficulty with this lane. We can see Kai's headed back to base, and he might be going to the top lane to give Elder Titan a little bit of help. Winter's giving him quite a lot of harassment, a really rough time up there. Just auto-attacking him down, and Hana, I mean, he got a lot of regeneration, so I think he was expecting to verse a tri-lane. They weren't expecting Yamata to be running an aggressive dual lane with the Crystal Maiden and Chen in the jungle, since Yamata, like I said, he typically plays the mid lane.
Lady, just a short notice, your sound is cutting off, so we just restart the call real quick.
Okay.
This should just take a second. Right, here we are back.
Hello, is it fixed?
I very much hope so. I'll just turn Skype up a bit, and we should be good.
Okay. I'll double check my Skype settings as well.
There you go.
Okay. Perfect.
Right, chat, let me know if this works.
If there's any issues, let us know. Yep. But in mid lane, Sharky is taking a lot of harassment. I mean, it's 5-1 compared to 7-2. So CS-wise, it's not lacking too hard. He did get pulled a bit of regeneration, as well as having a stout shield, and now he's got a quelling blade. So his last hitting isn't going to be too bad. Oh, look at that Roshan. Look at that courier. Look at that. Chibi's courier. Anyway, but once, you know, a couple of levels are up onto this Invoker, he can just use that Cold Snap and probably follow it up with a Sunstrike if he does get in the position to do so, because that Sunstrike is pure damage. It doesn't matter. Not that Sharky does have levels of the spell shield up, but it doesn't matter if he does get them up. Pure damage is just going to ignore that anyway. We can see on top lane, Winter has been forced back. They have rotated the tri-lane, I suppose, up here just to, I guess, shut down Sharky. They know that there's, sorry, not Sharky, Winter. They know there's not too much they can do on bot lane, and Chibi has basically just given up. He's still hoarding onto his skill points at the moment. He could get a level in arrow and throw it into mid lane, and I think that's what they want to do. Because if they can hit that Sunstrike on the anti-mage in the mid lane after an arrow, that could just be that first blood going their way. We can see he has leveled up the arrow. He will be throwing it out. Sharky, though, too far forward. Chibi does miss that arrow, and now he's going to be forced back to base. But Sharky knows that he's in a little bit of trouble. Nobody at this bot lane, so rotation coming in from Ling just to try and get this tower down. And this is not exactly what Departure want. I mean, these lanes coming out from Orange were just perfectly judged. I mean, I don't think First Departure were expecting this at all. And now this T1 tower probably is going to be going down. No defense coming out. We can see Lubby on the top lane. He has cut the creep wave. They want to try and do an exchange, a tower for a tower, but the push coming out from Orange is incredibly strong. Ling with that troll creep. Winter with the level 2 Nature's Call is able to take that tower down in a matter of seconds. So first tower going down around about the 3-minute mark, and I mean now we can see that, oh actually first blood in mid lane. Sharky did go down to a Sunstrike. I didn't catch that, but still actually really nice first blood. I wasn't expecting Sharky to fall, but I suppose, I mean like I was saying, that Sunstrike does do huge damage, so it just takes a couple of seconds and Sharky will go down. But I mean, we can see now Yamata's rotated up to the top lane. He is getting dived quite aggressively. Kai is just running behind this tower now. They do spot him out. He's trying to bite his way up, but he is going to get grave chilled. He throws out a torrent onto himself, but he's still going to be going down to Kai. He chops out that soul assumption. Now Crystal Main's here to help out. Hana is very, very low. Love is out of mana, and Winter has rotated as well. Hana is going to get trapped to the creeps. There's nothing, the creeps, the trees, there's nothing he can do, and he is going to go down to 9 there, but in exchange, Sharky's getting very, very low. Invoker has a haste rune, he's chasing him down. That stun on him is doing so much annoyance, leaving him unable to blink away, and now he will get auto-attacked to death by Pulson. Now Pulson trying to back out, but there's 3 heroes surrounding him. He's on 50 HP, but he does get blocked by Winter's treants there, and he is going to be going down. So score 3-2 at the moment, going the way of First Departure. But I mean, ultimately, after that trade, it was a 2-2 trade. They lost the Invoker who killed off Sharky on the Anti-Mage, and I mean ultimately that's not too bad. Taking down Sharky on the Anti-Mage is going to be quite ideal for them, but the big problem is going to be Yamata, who's kind of pulling ahead. But I mean now we do see that Midas picked up on Pulson, so 5-minute Midas is absolutely nothing to complain about, and an Invoker that's virtually ideal. He's going to be able to snowball forward quite easily at this point, hopefully, for First Departure, because if that Invoker does not snowball forward, I think they're going to be losing a lot of towers. Lags?
I'm fine. Like, it should be good. Let me check.
Maybe it's Twitch, I don't know.
Yeah, well, my upload's fine, so it should be good now, sorry.
Okay. Sorry guys, Twitch is not happy with us. It's been happening since yesterday. But anyway, so on bot lane now, Chibi has been given a little bit of an opportunity to get some farm up. Everyone's rotated out from that that bot lane. So he's going to be able to get up some face boots, or maybe going for a Midas. I mean, a Midas has pros and cons in this game. Typically, I do like a Midas pick up on a Miranda because it does allow her to kind of rotate. Actually, in mid lane, Yamata getting initiated on, but rotation coming in from the supports. He will be throwing out a Sunstrike, it's not going to hit, and now mid off feed gets hit with the torrent. They do drop down a sentry, but Yamata's going to be falling in exchange of that, so mid for a tri-lane farmer, I suppose, so not a too bad exchange. Now Winter's coming in with invisibility rune. They want to be able to get down this mid tower, and just Kai defending, and he's out of mana. There's not that much he can do to help.
Oh, sorry, actually mid lane
Now
Heist
Kai.
was gonna take him down. I was just checking my Ninja server pings and stuff. I'm sorry,
that's
because I
right.
think this is really on Twitch's end. So, yeah, fingers crossed it doesn't happen again. So, yep, it's me. Don't hate on Lily.
Okay. Well, anyway, oh, actually, that's pretty cheeky. Pulson has summoned out. Oh, Pulson actually in a little bit of trouble. Yamata is going to be able to get off that X marks the spot, as well as a torrent. Sentry is going to be dropped down. He's going to get netted out. His own forward spirit creep is going to be used against him, stolen by Chen, so he's just going to be destroyed by himself in this game. 4-5 now in favor of Orange. Chippy on the bot lane, he's He's still farming up, so I think he might be going for that Midas pickup, like I mentioned. It will be quite handy in terms of making sure he doesn't lose experience. He will keep up and farm, but at the same time, Departure really need these early game items, but because they need to be able to win this early game. They're not going to win late game against an anti-mage and a Nature's Prophet without some big mistakes. And actually, mid lane Yamata getting very, very low, but Kai is still low on mana, and Sunstrike will be going off. Will it land? It will land right onto Yamata's head. Yamata is going to be going down yet again, 0-3. This is not a typical Yamata Yamata game, that poor guy. But anyway, Chibi as well as Lubby are going to be pushing down this bot 2-1 tower. So they're doing alright. On top lane, Sharky's going to be forced back. Invoker's rotated up there, just trying to defend these towers as much as he can. And I do wonder what build Sharky's going to be going for, since he has had such a miserable start. 0-2 at the moment. We could see him go for a build of maybe just treads into a Vlad's, and actually on bot lane Yamata going to be initiated onto Chibi. He has not used that leap yet, but he's going to try the Starstorm and actually will be falling for his efforts. Yamata doing way too much damage along with Winter's ultimate flying out. But Lubby is getting closer. Okay. Lubby will be getting closer and closer to that mech. Kai just picking up those general support items, getting some wards up, some sentries. They want to get back the map control. You can see during this time in the mid lane, there's been a lot of dewarding coming out from Orange. They want to get down this mid tower next. This mid tower only on 346 health, so it is quite low. Ultimately, I mean, Orange could take that down in one big push. So that's probably what they're going to be aiming to do next, which is why they really want that control around this mid area. And I mean, ultimately, Orange are getting a little bit of the map control they want. It's 2 towers down for First Departure compared to 1 tower down for Orange. But, I mean, First Departure need to pick their game up a little bit now at this point, lest they just get out-farmed. And Yamata, they're doing a really good job of shutting him down. But he's still got the phase beats up. Looks like he's building into a drums. He's picked up the Gauntlets of Strength as well as that Circlet. So building into a Bracer. And at the same time, Ling on this Chen has picked up that mech 9 minutes into the game, so he's one rich little Chen, and actually Sharky going for a Hand of Midas. He's just farmed it up, it's flying out to him on the courier, so man, Hand of Midas gaming has just permeated every single part of Dota. Very, very interesting, I suppose, but I mean, now with that Midas, it does really put him in a situation where Sharky is going to be incredibly squishy. He's only got 700 health. He's going to be going down very easily, but I mean, you can see Miranda's picked up a Midas as well, and since he hasn't got that fast Battle Fury that you usually like to see on, you know, kind of AFK farming anti-mage, it does mean that maybe he has to, you know, get that Midas to keep up an experience, to keep up and farm. And actually, Invisibility Rune picked up on Yamata. He's looking at Chibi on the bot lane. Chibi wanting to maybe back out. It looks like he will. He's got that Midas up, so that's all he really needs. But at the same time, Orange are preparing to push down this mid lane as First Departure are going to be getting... Sorry, the top lane is First Departure will be getting down that mid lane tower. So tower exchanges are all around, but First Departure got there first. So now they do have the time to rotate up to that top lane to defend it, or to decide to keep pushing that mid lane. But it looks like they will be heading up to the top lane. Hana's already up there, throwing out that Astral Spirit to just try and do a little bit of harassment and damage to the creep wave that's looming threateningly onto that tower. But Yamata still with that invisibility room, going to be chasing down Kai. In comes Winter. X marks the spot. Kai doesn't know where to go. He's just going to get X as well as Boat Torrent right onto his head. He's going down. Lubby comes in trying to help out, but that ultimate, the combo is going to be doing way too much damage. And 9, he almost goes down, but he manages to live on a little bit of health thanks to that Hand of God. And now mid or feed is forced to back out. Some nice Visage stuns will be forcing Orange Yamata not to be throwing out that Torrent as well as the X marks the spot. So he won't be going down as well, but oof, not so good. I mean, Kai did get that ward down that he wanted, so they've got a little bit more vision into the jungle. They're slowly encroaching onto Orange's territory, trying to get control of this half of the map, making sure that Orange are going to be kind of forced out of their own jungle, ideally. But I mean, Orange are just biting back every time that First Departure try and make an attempt on anything. And actually, Hana now could be in trouble. There is a smoke gank rape train coming his way. He's all alone at this tower. 3 heroes coming around from behind, 1 hero at the front, and he is going to be in a lot of trouble now. In comes X-Master Spot, Torrent as well to seal the deal. Rotation coming in from Kai, but this is probably not the best decision. He's all alone, and he's probably going to be going down as well. He can't even get a single spell off before he dies. So 2 down now, score 5-9 in favor of Orange. There are other heroes rotating in. Lubby has got that black hole up, he's got that mech up. 4 stuff is done on mid or feed, but can he do that much? He does manage to get out Oh, actually, he runs into Winter. Winter doesn't know what to do. Middle feed is out of mana, though he does manage to throw out a cold snap as well as a meteor right onto Winter's head. Winter getting very, very low, and he will be going down. That's a killing spree going the way of middle feed. But now Yamata is actually going to be the next one to fall. Most likely, no. Sharky saves the day, taking all of the mana, and Yamata is going to walk away on 40 health. 9 now, quite low. Ling is quite low as well. That stun coming out from Lubby doing work on him. And Ling, he wants to try and rotate out. He's just got enough mana. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he's not. Hana hits like a truck, plus 186 damage right onto Ling's head. So now score 7 to 10. So 1 kill in exchange for 2. So, or was it 1 or 2? No, 2. So I mean, a good exchange ultimately for departure. That they did lose that tower. So map control not really going either way. The mid tower still alive, but only on 300 health. So I mean, Orange are kind of getting what they need. They're getting the kills. Sharky hasn't died. He's got 2 kills, in fact, since that early game, and he's getting a little bit scarily fat. He's got his treads up, got that Midas, and it looks like he will be building into a Battle Fury. And at this rate, with that Midas pickup, he probably will have it done at around about, I would say, the 17-minute mark, if not earlier, depending on how many towers they do manage to get down. So that's still a respectable time for treads, Midas, and a Battle Fury. So this game is looking a little bit scary. Actually, Sharky is going to get arrowed on the top lane. Chibi rotates in, does manage to use that Star Storm, but it doesn't hit him twice, and Sharky will just be able to blink away. No Sunstrike coming out from mid or feed. Not too sure why, but I guess he just had mercy. And actually, he will be throwing out a random Sunstrike, but not going to be latching onto Sharky. Sharky will just be able to blink away, get mech'd up, and go back to farming. And if we do have a look at the graphs, in terms of gold earned, it is dead even. Probably most likely due to the Midases. 2 Midases on each team. It's very hard to get an advantage. And I mean, tower-wise, it's pretty much even. I mean, this does mean farm-wise, it's going in favor of Orange, since First Departure do have 1 more tower. That is around about a 1,000 gold advantage in favor of First Departure. So, I mean, ideally it is going in favor of Orange. Same with Experience, 1,000 in favor of Orange. And actually on top lane, Chibi, he's lurking way too long. He's going to be able to make it to the bushes and leap out. Yes, he will, as well as a TP. Winter wants to TP in, and Sharky won't be finding him. He does blink in, but a little bit too late, so he will make it away. A-OK. And forced out some rotations coming out from Orange to try and take him down. It's hard not to. But anyway, Kai with the invisibility rune will be doing a little bit of scouting out, finding Ling 9, and they will actually rotate in. Hana's going really, really deep. Sunstrike will be landing onto nobody, unfortunately, in a boat now, right onto Kai's head. Winter rotating in as well. Lubby wants to get in for that black hole. He will manage to catch 2. Ling is caught in as well as Yamate. They're both going to go down. Really nice black hole, but Centaur stun's coming out. Lubby might make it away. He will make it away. Winter's going to be able to rotate out as well, and they will get all of those Chen creeps. And now Orange is saying, hey, there's a ward there. There's got to be a ward there, but still a really nice fight for Orange. Unfortunately, they didn't quite manage to catch 9. He's on 50 health, but still, First Departure now might have the opportunity to take down this mid-tier 2, or at least do a decent sum of damage to it. Lubby's rotated back into the jungle, though, unfortunately, which does leave them unable to use those little Eidolon, I don't know how to pronounce that, Eidolon, maybe, to keep pushing. But I mean, regardless, still a nice team fight going their way. And I mean, if we look at the gold graph now, it is actually firmly in favor of First Departure. Around about, say, 1,000. Experience has gone up in favor of First Departure, around about 1,000 as well. So rotations and good exchanges. But I mean, at the same time, Sharky has gotten free farm in the jungle, and he's getting closer and closer and closer to that Battle Fury. And once he does get that Battle Fury up, he will just be able to split push incessantly. I mean, he's got the treads up already, and with that Battle Fury, he's going to have the regeneration he needs to just blink from camp to camp and just put pressure on the lanes. And First Departure don't really have an answer to it. Unless we see maybe Boots of Travel pick up on one of their heroes, they're really not going to have any way to kind of stop Sharky from just split pushing and pressuring all the lanes along with Winter. I mean, Winter is going for that Shadow Blade, so it looks like Orange do just want to play Rat Dota. But now we do see the Centaur just scouting out the Roshan pit. I mean, both teams at this point could take Roshan. First Departure probably could take it a little bit easier, and they will be smoking up now. Looking at Kunkka in the mid lane, Yamata, he's still on, reasonably high health, and he's got some backup. His allies are all in the area, but it looks like Lubby's just going to be blinking in, getting off a stun. Elder Titan throws out the ultimate, but it's not going to be latching, and Yamata will be able to just walk away from this. And in fact, Kai could be the one to fall. He's going to get X marks the spot as well as Toronto. Crystal Man tries to go in, but nice massage from Lees. Will be saving the day for half a second. Now Mech going to be going off, saving Kai's life. And that Sunstrike just misses. They don't get the stun off. Lobby blinks in, try to get the stun off on Yamete, oh my god. But he does manage to get up, but Ling comes in trying to help out, and he's going to be the one who goes down. He does pop the mech, but it's too little too late. And now even more creeps go down, and this could be a Roshan attempt, or it could be just going straight for this tier 2 tower and securing more map control. And it looks like First Apache will use his advantage. They've got to take down a tier 2 tower. The mech is gone from Orange now, and getting this tower does mean a significant amount of map control. It does mean that Orange haven't got, you know, a really good rotation spot coming in to this Roshan bar this tower. And that could give a little bit of an advantage for them. And actually it looks like maybe they want to try and do a bit of damage to this high ground. I mean, losing a Chen is important, but it's not the end of the world. But First Departure know they're on a time limit. They know it's going to get very, very hard. Sharky has got that Battle Fury up, though he hasn't flown it out to him with the courier yet. It does mean that, you know, First Departure are really going to start losing the control they've got. And actually, Chibi, he could be going down now. Torrent boat, he does manage to leap out of the way of the boat, though, so he's going to be okay. And actually, really nice Elder Titan Stomp will be catching too. And actually, Chibi's going to be going down to the sideline there. Orange Winter just coming in, auto-attacking him to death. He couldn't leap away, he already cast it. Now Sharky is on the run, he's rotated in, he wants to get a kill. Kai will be hiding in the bushes here, just going to TP out right in front of them all, but they don't know he's there because he's hidden. Hana got the 4 stuff up, he's also going to be making a grand escape. And maybe now Orange could actually go into the Roshan pit if they wanted to, but Chen doesn't have the creeps he needs, as well as Chen actually having to go back to base, so not going to be able to get that nice advantage of the Roshan that they wanted from, you know, winning a team fight and taking down the carry. But it looks like they are actually eyeing the Roshan pit anyway. 9 is going to be going in as well as Yamata. They know that there's no wards up around this area for First Departure. 9 doing a little bit of dewarding here just to ensure. And now with Winter coming in, he doesn't have the Treants. No, he does have the Treants, sorry. So this is going to be a Roshan going the way of Orange, and this is absolutely crucial for Orange, honestly. I mean, if they can get that Aegis up, maybe onto Yamate, it could also be into Sharky or Winter. It depends on how they want to play it. If Sharky's just going to be split pushing, he really has no need of the Aegis. If Winter's going to be going... No, it looks like Sharky's going to be doing it. So Sharky probably going to be joining in a couple more teamfights now. And it looks like First Departure want to go in. Chibi just going in so aggressive. He's just going to get 3 hit down, as well as that Elder Titan ultimate landing onto nobody. And now Kai just going onto the high ground. 9 is going to be the one who dies. Black hole landing onto Sharky, so that's going to be the Aegis going down already. Really nice black hole on the high ground. And now the Phillies do have the stuns. 1 stun, 2 stun. No, he casts them both at the same time, so Sharky will be able to blink away. And Winter actually goes down on the sidelines as well. So a 3 as well as Aegis. So I guess 4 for 1 exchange at this point. And now Sunstrike not going to be landing. He thought that maybe Sharky would go to farm, but Sharky decided to go farm top lane instead. But now First Departure maybe going to do a little bit more pressure on the top lane, but given that it's so early into the game, Orange respawns so quickly. And at this point, Conker's boat is already back up. Crystal Maiden, I mean, her spells aren't really high cooldown anyway, but I mean, on the whole, First Departure just aren't finding the room they need to push, and that Aegis would have been absolutely crucial. But now actually a huge item just picked up onto mid or feed. Paulson has managed to get a Hex. And that is going to help tremendously with trying to take down Sharky. If he can get that Hex with a Cold Snap, as well as a couple of Forge Spirits, Sharky should not be able to blink away. The cast time on Blink is longer than the stun coming out from the Cold Snap. So, I mean, with the combination of the Forge Spirits, the Cold Snap, and a Sunstrike, as well as the Hex, Middlefeet should be able to theoretically solo Sharky, and it looks like he's going to be going in for it now. He's got the Sunstrike up, he's got the Forge Spirits, he's going to be using that Hex. Sunstrike not going to be hitting, but it doesn't matter because Sharky's just going to go down so quickly anyway. And Middlefeet taking out the carry, just going to rotate back to the base, and he's going to be okay. And Sharky, he's got the Yasha up, so he's getting actually very close to this Manta now. He should have it up, I would say, by 26 minutes at the latest, and that's going to be very helpful. But, I mean, good rotations coming out from First Departure. And in mid lane, Winter's actually come in. He's got that Shadow Blade popped. He's looking at Hana. Hana's got a 4-staff though, so with that, using X-Master spot, Hana should be able to 4-staff himself out. He is actually going to maybe make it away. He will make it away. Winter's ultimate doesn't hit onto him, and now Yamata's going to be the one falling for this. In comes mid or feed. Pulson just using that Hex, and actually they're going down onto 9. Chibi just dives in like a madman. But a really nice Centaur stun from Ling will save his own life, catching onto 2, and now Arrow is up, and he will be throwing it out, landing right onto Link's backside. Link going to be falling down as well. 2 down from Orange, and First Departure are going to be taking the high ground now. It looks like they've got everything they need. All their heroes are up. They haven't got the black hole for 40 seconds, but still, no Yamata, no Chen for 12 and 30 seconds respectively. So this could be the racks going down. I mean, the tier 3 tower is very, very low. Although Chibi doesn't do too much damage, it doesn't really matter because they've got so many summons, and really the DPS on their team is Pulson on that Invoker, and this racks is probably going to be going down. I don't think that Orange can defend it at this point, and that is the racks gone. A really nice torrent boat onto 4 heroes, but no, the boat only hits onto Kai. Everyone else has got way too much mobility, and 9 getting very, very low. Arrow to seal the deal, and Chibi will be scoring that last hit, and this is going to be 1 racks going down. Winter on the sideline wanting to get a pick off. Nice blocking coming out from Lubby. Lubby's out of mana, but it doesn't matter. Link Winter is going to get hexed out and taken down. They want to get this range racks as well.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And First Departure played this really, really well. I mean, even though Orange got that Aegis, which First Departure probably sorely wanted, First Departure still just kept the pressure up, while Orange didn't really have the mechanism to deal with it. You've got to remember that a Nature's Prophet isn't really that good in anti-push, unless he goes for maybe a Hex and a, I don't know, Mjolnir. I don't know, you see it sometimes. Unless he goes for directly anti-push items, he's not that good at helping anti-push. And same with a Kunkka, and even same with an anti-mage, and even a Kunkka to some extent. I mean, a Kunkka definitely can anti-push if he can go forward, but I mean, the thing is, he's basically relying on getting that combo off, and if First Departure can outlast that combo, which, I mean, on the whole they've been able to dodge the torrent and the boat, it does mean that, I mean, what have Orange got to defend? They've got a fantastic split push lineup, and if they can continue to drag this game out, this game is not GG. First Departure may have got a Rax, but that doesn't mean it's over. When you're versing a Nature's Prophet and an anti-mage, they will just rat Dota until you start crying. I mean, they're just awful, awful heroes designed to make everyone cry. So, actually, we saw the courier getting taken down there. Must have been maybe by the Forge Spirits? So, no Dire heroes. I mean, Radiant heroes on the Dire side. So, hey, courier's going down. So, another little nifty pick off there for First Departure. But I mean, First Departure, this game, like I was saying, it's not one for them yet. They've got a lot of core items up. If you look at the gold graph, it's around about 6,000 gold in favor of them, 7,500 experience. And they have got a lot of core items coming up, but that still doesn't mean GG when you're versing a Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage. It's not GG until the throne dies.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now, tier 2 tower on top lane being pushed down by First Departure. Lobby's got a haste rune, so he's just flying himself forward. He's got that black hole up, he's got the mech, he's got 3.4k gold in the bank. Chibi is going to be the one who's just diving forward with that Linken's. He's not too afraid. I mean, he can leap out of the torrent, he just has to make sure he dodges it originally. And Elder Titan will be getting a nice stomp to Yamate. Arrow follow-up from Chibi, but he's going to get 4-staffed out, so that, and then sent back to base by Ling. So Ling just saving his life, but I mean, now what is he going to do? I mean, Sharky is just unable to defend with that Midas. He's got the Mantra up at 1.2k health, or 1.3k I suppose. Is he going to be able to go in and just get that rampage he needs to kind of win the team this game? And Ari going to be landing onto nobody. And Yamate just going to get stunned out again by this Elder Titan stomps. I mean, at the same time, this mid lane is going to be pushing in. They've got the big creeps there, the mega creeps or mega melee creeps, I don't know what they're called. And this does mean that they're just constantly going to be pushing in. So First Departure really can just kind of sit on the top lane, but it looks like they will be backing out. And Orange actually want to go on the offensive now. They're going to be spotting out Lubby, who's overstayed his welcome, but he will be able to blink right into Sharky. X-Torrent, he's just dead. Winter's ultimate flying out just to do a little bit more damage. Now Sharky actually going to be going in. Hex onto him, but Kai has got no mana left. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to get trapped in the trees by Winter. Even Boat, they don't like Kai very much, do they? He's going to be going down. Now Middle Feet is forced to back out. He's going to get Exo as well, and this could be the turnaround for Orange. Torrent will be missing, but that huge ultimate coming out from Sharky to be huge damage. Tana pops that BKB, but he's got nowhere to go. He's going to be going down as well. That's 4 down for First Departure. They got the racks, but who even cares? Orange say this isn't over until the throne dies, buddy. Now Chibi this whole time was farming the bot lane. This could be the turnaround for Orange, but they haven't got too much of an ability to kind of force the issue at this moment. I mean, Sharky does want to go in as well with Yamata, but the heroes are going to be back up for first departure in around about 20 seconds. All of them will be ready to fight. BKB, of course, the 10-second BKB just popped there by Hana, but it doesn't matter. All they really need is that black hole, as well as that Hex coming out from the Invoker. Plus, they have got a lot of buyouts. I mean, there's buyout on the Mirana, on Invoker, on Lubby. The only one who doesn't really have buyout is the Visage as well as the Elder Titan. But on the whole, if their heroes die, they can just, you know, rotate back in. But big items coming out. Winter's got his Hex up, and Yamata has got that BKB, so he's going to be able to help team fight a lot. So Orange definitely still able to come back in, and if you look at the gold graph, it was going firmly in favor of first departure, but it just dropped dramatically back down around about 3,000 gold, which is nothing for 30 minutes into the game. Same with experience, it was going in first departure's favor, but oh my god, it's almost back at even actually after that most recent update. So 0 gold and 0 experience lead essentially, and BKB even picked up on this anti-mage, so he is ready to fight and he is not, you know, giving this up at all. Now, first departure, it looks like they do want to go back to this mid lane and start pressuring. They know that they're on a time limit. Just getting your racks down doesn't mean GG, and Orange knows that as well. So they're looking at this top lane. As I was saying, they can really just kind of sit in this area and keep the lane pressured until this mid lane just forces in. And of course, Orange do have a Nature's Prophet as well as an anti-mage to, you know, keep the pressure on and keep the lanes pushing. But I mean, at the same time, first departure really always going to have that kind of gold advantage of this mid lane pushing in. You can see Orange now in the mid lane. They want to just get this lane pushed out as far as possible, preferably beyond the river here, just so they can have that kind of map control and ensuring that this creep wave isn't going to be taking down the throne while they're trying to defend top. But I mean, look at Nature's Prophet. He's cutting the creep wave now. He's being that super annoying guy. Rotation coming in from the Elder Titan, but he hasn't really got that much he can do to stop Winter, and Winter is just going to be able to Shadow Blade away. And they haven't got any detection at the moment. I think they had a gem, but it was maybe lost in that last team fight. I'm not too sure where it's gone. Gem on Visage, so he has got a new gem. Or he picked up the old one, not too sure. But either way, Winter will be able to make it away, and it's probably going to be worth giving that gem to the Invoker, but of course Invoker has been dying a couple of times. I mean, he's got his BKB up now, so his survivability is going to go through the roof, but on the whole, the Visage having a gem is handy, but at the same time, Visage just doesn't have the mobility that Invoker has, especially when that Invoker's got, you know, 4 staff boots of travel, and if you want to be able to counter-initiate on Winter, you probably need someone who can, you know, get there fast enough to take him down. Now we can see first departure are just not too sure on what exactly they want to do. You look at the net worth, and while they were all on top, you can see Sharky has just pulled way too far ahead at this point. And actually, Sharky looks like Chibi is going to be the target on the bot lane. Winter is in position, ready to get that Hex off. Sharky's going to be blinking in half a second. Chibi, he's going to be used the ultimate just to cancel that Linken's Hex going off into well. Just that ultimate to finish it off, that Mana Void just taking down Chibi. That's a carry gone, and now no Invoker in range to really save Chibi's life, and Chibi knows he's got to watch out at this point. Sharky as well as Winter are going to be all around the map, just getting those pickups that they need. Okay. And now, I mean, all Orange need to do at this point is just keep split pushing, really. Is just keep pressuring the top lane, pressuring the bottom lane with the anti-mage as well as that Nature's Prophet, and have the rest of the 3 heroes grouped up around this mid lane, ensuring that it doesn't push in. And that's really all Orange needs to do, especially getting pickoffs onto this Mirana, who, you know, is the primary carry for first departure. She's the, I mean, I would say that the Invoker is the main DPS, but it's getting to the point where Mirana, as the agility carry, needs to rotate into being that primary DPS for the team. And we can see now that Roshan has been scattered out. Winter is in a position to come help fight, and they don't have Mirana up. She's running as fast as she can, but it looks like she's not even going to bother defending the top lane, the Roshan. She's going to the top lane to just make sure they don't lose any more tier 2 towers. They want to keep up this last tower for as long as they can, but it could be an exchange with the Roshan. They have got Hana there just kind of defending it, but Winter is pinging out, hey look, Mirana is at this top lane. Roshan could be ours if we choose to take it, but it looks like Sharky's going to head down to the bot lane and just keep pressuring. I mean, pressure is the name of the game, and a smoke coming out in the Crystal Maiden, so they might try to smoke in, otherwise they might try and do a little bit of a sneaky thing and smoke behind. At the moment, both teams don't really have any wards on the map, just not too much vision. They don't exactly know where the enemy team is. They have some idea by the direction the Spirit is flying in, since, you know, the Spirit is scouting out the Roshan area, scouting out this area. You can see it's kind of flying that way. Similar to a clockwork rocket, you know which direction he's in by which direction the rocket flies from. But I mean, regardless, I'm not too sure. And you can see this really desperate but defensive and I guess also kind of aggressive ward coming out, just letting them know, hey, if there's any heroes in this sort of an area, we will know. And this camp is going to be blocked out as well, which is, you know, a little bit of a farm denial coming out from Orange, just trying to shut down any farm they can on first departure. And now it looks like they will be going in for that Roshan pit. It's going to be scouted out with the Sunstrike, but our first departure wanting to defend. They're not really in a position to. Chibi was all the way on the top lane, and I mean Orange just called it. We can see first departure now all rushing to that Roshan pit, but I mean at this point in the game they can't defend the Roshan really, because if you think about it, Winter can rotate there instantly, and same can Sharky essentially. I mean, Sharky with the TP scroll, he doesn't have a TP scroll at the moment, but you know, he could just TP to this tower quite easily and go defend the Roshan. And that's really the advantage of being the Dire when you want to kind of have these late games, these drawn out games, is that you've got this tower that you can always defend to. And of course, if first departure could get that tower down, it would be fantastic for defending the Roshan, because that would put Orange the same footing as they have for trying to take down the Roshan, where they've got no real way to rotate. They can't TP there instantly. They have to run all the way across the map, and they know. Actually, it looks like they're just going to try and backdoor this tower. There are other creeps in the mid lane, or there will be very, very soon, but Fortify is going to be popped. These creeps have been delayed slightly, and there is a smoke gang coming out. First departure have to watch their positioning. Chibi, most of all, he's going to get Hex, but in comes Lubby. Is Lubby going to pop that BKB? He's going to pop that BKB, and no, he's not going to use a black hole. They do manage to take down Ling, but Ling instant buyout. Tornado coming out, just going to be landing onto Sharky, but Sharky's got the Aegis, so they can't really worry about him. Yamato pops that BKB, manages to get the boat combo onto actually mid or feed, but now BKB's popped on Hana as well as mid or feed. They're all on the run. Lubby though, he still hasn't cast that black hole. He can't find word for it, and actually Winter will be going down, trapped and getting arrowed from that trap on the trees. But now mid or feed is still on the run. He is going to go down. A huge mana void just doing massive damage to him. The gem now is on the ground, but nobody's there to pick it up. 2 down from first departure. Buyouts coming out from both Nature's Prophet as well as Ling on that Chen, but actually Yamato is going to be going in again. He's taking a lot of damage. Yamato will be going down as well as Ling yet again, so that is buyout and death on Ling. Sharky now just doing huge damage to middle feed, but he will blink himself into the trees. If they catch sight of him, he could be going down. And Winter, he's hexed up. He's already bought out. He is going to die, and that's no buyout. That's 3 down for Orange. Yamato can buy out, but still, Ling as well as Winter are out. They're just gone. Winter's gone for 80 seconds now, so first departure, probably going to push this mid lane and then rotate top. They did not manage to get the Aegis down on Sharky. He's got a hard up now, but Kunka's going to be buying out. They want to get this second Rex. They want to be able to even partially seal the deal. They've got the Lincolns as well as that Manta Cell up on Miranda. They will be able to get down this second Rax, but it might not be enough regardless. I mean, Sharky is still very, very fat. They're going to go for the range Rax as well, being quite greedy. Yamato doing his best to defend, but Chibi just, he has a little bit too much damage, and I mean, Yamato, he needs to get off maybe an X marks the spot, but this second Rax is going to be going down. And now Orange are 2 Raxes down. This, like I said, it doesn't mean they're out of this game. They've got split pushing galore, but they have to watch out now because Winter, like I was saying, a Nature's Prophet can help teamfight a little bit, but with a Shadow Blade, and normally you see a Necronomicon, they're more split push oriented. But Winter went for the Shadow Blade, followed up by a Hex, which meant he needed to join in team fights, and that does kind of neuter his split pushing ability. He can't, aggressively split push all the time with that Necrobook 3 to kind of make sure he can't get initiated on. He really has to watch out, and he's lacking in farm just because he's had to buy out so many times. I mean, his net worth is lower than both Mirana as well as that, actually, Kunkka. While I say this, Ling is going to get revealed. Hana is the target of choice. He's got that BKB. He's going to pop it. And Yamato actually does get stunned out. He's trying to get the stomp in range. He will manage to get the stomp. Hex actually going off onto Yamato, but he's going to get sent back to base by Ling. So Ling is just going to be the target of choice. Ling will be going down. A nice send back to base by the Chen onto Yamato, but possibly not enough. First departure want to get this last tier 2 tower down and get those mega creeps, secure the deal of this win. And now, actually, Mirana does pick up an MKB, so she's going to be doing huge damage in team fights, just getting rid of her wand for that. I don't know if it's going to be enough to take down Sharky, though. With that heart up, with the Manta up, with the BKB, he's very, very durable in team fights, and I think that he's not really going to be the target. If they can take him down, they will want to, but on the whole, they're just going to use their disables to try and take him out of the fight. And I mean, the good thing, I suppose, about First Departure's lineup in the late game is that Orange rely completely on their split push. Chen and Crystal Maiden really fade off, and actually Torrent not going to be landing onto anyone. He doesn't bother falling up with Boat, but he is going to get tornadoed up in the air, followed up by an arrow, but the arrow goes through and he manages to pop that BKB, and in comes Sharky wanting to fight. He's man-moding up, but that Aegis is going down in around about a minute, so he has to watch himself because if the Aegis goes down, actually he's just going to blink into all of them. He's going to get stunned out, but he's got that BKB, pops the BKB, trying to take any of them, but they're just running around. He's taking so much damage, and he's going to be getting very, very low, but that's going to take that Aegis down, and he doesn't actually manage to get his ultimate up, but at the same time, Chibi going to get X-Master Spot. He does leap out of the boat, but he's going to get frostbitten by 9. He throws the arrow, not landing onto 9, and now in the middle of the team fight, Hana is going to be able to turn around, just auto-attacking Sharky to death along with Middle Feet, who pops that Hex. Yamato is the next one who's taking a lot of damage with Black Hole right onto his head. 5-man Black Hole just take Yamato down. Ling is going to be the next one to fall. He's unable to defend this, and Winter is now on the run. Last one standing, and this could be the Mega Creeps. Orange, how many buyers do they have? They've got none. Sharky's got buyout in 50 gold, but is it going to be enough? Chibi he's so anxious, he just leaps straight into the crowd. And with that Alacrity on him, he's just doing huge damage, plus 202 and 155 base damage. He can just rip through these towers. Sharky, still no buyout. This tower will be going down now. And I think this is going to be the Mega Creeps. Orange were still in it with a chance with their split push, but unfortunately, instead of split pushing, they just kept picking fights and picking fights and picking fights. And I mean, their lineup is more designed to just keep, you know, 1-2 lanes pressured. If First Departure's bot, hey, well, you know what, we've got an anti-mage at your racks, we've got a Nature's Prophet at your racks, but unfortunately, they never really got to that point. The tier 3 towers, all still on virtually full health. I mean, the only one that's lost any health is this mid one, which has lost like 45 HP. They've still got a tier 2 tower up, which when you've got an anti-mage and an agent prophet at 40 minutes into the game, that's not what you want to see, but it looks like they're going to be going for the final defense. In comes Sharky, but he's just taking way too much damage, and with that BKB, they know exactly which one he is. Kai is going to get hexed out. Kai could be going down. Kai will be going down, but still, mid or feed is right there, and Sharky just gonna get arrowed. What an arrow coming out from Chibi there, but Sharky will be able to blink away. Middle feed now, taking down Ling. He just pops a cold snap onto him, but Yamate, he says he wants revenge, but he's unable to do anything, and the Ancient is gonna be under attack, and he has to watch out. He just pops, oh actually middle feed will be going down to Sharky. He's come back in. Lubby now wants revenge for his fallen friend, but Sharky's gonna be able to blink away. Ancient down on 800 health. Chibi's just gonna blink back in and fountain dive because he wants kills, and GG is gonna be called out by Orange. GG, well played to both First Departure and Orange. First Departure played this fantastically, but even after that mid-game, almost a throw where they lost 4 heroes straight after getting the racks, Orange still just couldn't quite bring it back against them. So I mean, really well played by both teams. This is what a game to watch. Thank you, of course, to Gigabyte as well as AMD for sponsoring this tournament. Thanks to Pimp Muckle for doing the camera work and streaming, and a shout out to datbet.net esports betting. And thanks for watching, guys. If you have any constructive feedback on the casting or the camera work, put it in the chat or tweet it at us or message it at us. And thanks for watching. There's another game coming up in around about 40 minutes, which is going to be Orange versus Insidious Idol. Thanks, guys.